That needs a patch. That needs an emergency patch. Anyway, you paid like 15 bucks a month and you got access to every game that was on the platform. It might have been 20. I think it was actually fairly expensive. You bought the system, then you paid them every month to continue the service. You had on live, did you, Mal? How was it? Did you enjoy it? Did it work? Thanks for being here, Mal. Welcome to the stream. A lot of HLK blast machine. That's a cool door. Worked okay for anything you weren't serious. Try hard at. Was the input lag pretty bad? Attaboy. What game is this? B-Dog Pop, this is Borderlands 1. Game of the Year edition. It'd be annoying, but I played Borderlands 2 with it. Nice. I'm surprised it's gone. That was kind of the last thing I expected to see. I figured they were hanging on, still doing their thing. Being around. It's weird that Sony bought them. I wonder what Sony plans to do with it. I mean, I don't see having to buy a copy of the game for the Stadia to be weird. I still find that they're trying this idea again weird. And like Mal's talking about, if Stadia is going to be like on live, the input lag, if it's just there enough to be annoying, can you imagine trying to do a raid in Destiny 2 or playing Trials of the Nine, which I don't even think exists anymore, but you get my meaning, with a Stadia? Who would want to do that to themselves? PlayStation Now sucks. What is PlayStation Now? Okay, it's PS Now. So OnLive's already been turned into a tool for the PlayStation. That makes sense. And PlayStation Now is a streaming and download service. Huh. Do they have an all digital system to go along with it, like the Xbox SAD, or you go and buy a box? A PlayStation Now box? Fuck, where are the claptraps at? All that sweet, sweet money. All that hard-earned money. Questions, that's a ban. You can use it on PC. Okay, well, there's no real difference. Oh shit, I sold my good sniper. That was a mistake. RIP. There's no real difference between that and the Xbox. Then I can stream my Xbox to my PC. And vice versa, so long as I got the bandwidth. I've done it with State of Decay before. Shit, it's doing the job. Green level 37 doing the job. Thus is the beauty of Borderlands. Kill switch. No, it'd be like if you didn't have an Xbox, but Xbox Live you can play your old library. That sounds like a good idea. What makes it suck? This is the tech guy at the beginning of the clip of that collider guy ranting. I wasn't invited. Shit. Don't you blow up, little fucker. The face! So Shooty McShooty. Is he really just a reprint of the General Knox? boss fight in Claptrap.
Flashes in front of your eyes a second before you die. That's a load of crap. No.
Price, lag, resistance to new ideas in the industry.
Okay.
That's the one thing about Stadia, though, that I don't understand. It's not a new idea. Like, you own the On Live. Mal, that thing's 10 years old now. It's not new. In fact, I think it existed before On Live ever existed. It just hasn't ever worked. And I think that should be reason enough to tell you that it's probably not gonna work anytime soon. I don't want one personally. I still want physical copies of the games. We've had these long conversations about DRM. If you want to completely give away any kind of leverage that we have in that argument, then buy live service boxes, buy these streaming boxes, because without a physical copy of the game, you've already given every publisher exactly what they want. All the games are online only. The idea is as old to me, Mal, as the guy who made the first video game. The Pong thing, you know, he made that wooden box. That was his whole vision, is that you would interact with the television, that you'd have a box, but the television would send the signals to the box, and then that whole thing would be your library. You would interact with the TV and play games through the TV, and I guess he was visionary in that way, but I think the market forces have already said that it's not really wanted. People like specific tools. We talked about that earlier in the stream, and I'm also a fan of specific tools. I have an Xbox because I just want to play games. I don't want anything coming in between that process. And if my internet's down, I don't like that I don't have access to the games. I think that this is going to be like Google Fiber, but I could completely be proven wrong. That's my opinion on it. That's why if I was in Vegas and I was laying my chips on, I'd lay my chips that it hasn't worked, it's not going to work, Stadia is not a great idea. I don't personally want a Stadia. I don't know anybody that does. Unless it's really cheap. That's the only way I see it working. If it's like 150 bucks. If it's able to undercut all the competition, then it's got a chance. But how long is Google willing to bleed? And Google's been trying these. I mean, they have yet to make fiber work. Everyone's like, oh, it's Google. They're gonna get involved. They're just gonna fucking rock. We've already seen through the course of Google Fiber, that's not how it works. That even as big as Google is, they can throw a lot of money and resources into something, but eventually they cut their losses and run. I know Google Fiber still exists, but they're not expanding markets anymore. They just exist in a few big cities. I don't like the idea personally, but it's where the market wants to go. It's where the big businesses want to go. Sure, the publishers and the software companies like Microsoft or Sony, the tech company, but I don't think the consumers, I don't think we want to go there, and that's their limiting factor. Thank God we still have that limiting factor. We'll vote with our wallets and we'll say, I still want a disc. I don't want every game to be online only. GameStop stocks are really shitty right now because of the Stadia. The Stadia's got hype behind it. I don't think Stadia is going to work out, and I think that GameStop's going to continue to keep keeping on. The industry so desperately wants to be rid of used games, but tell me, what skin is it off their back that you can go and you can buy a PlayStation 2 game at GameStop? Half those companies don't even exist anymore. They went defunct. How else are you going to get a hold of those games? You know, a way that the average consumer can go get a hold of them. They're not, because they're not going to go to swap meets, and they're not going to go to, you know, these relic video game stores which hardly exist anymore. What they have is GameStop, and GameStop offers that service. People shit on GameStop. I don't see anything wrong with GameStop. They get pissed at GameStop, but they don't think anything about Walmart. Walmart controlled the industry for 2 decades. Walmart was the bar to entry. If your game wasn't on the shelf at Walmart, your game wasn't selling for shit. Walmart was a positive. You know, it helped introduce the industry standard caps at the $60 for your, your game and what that means. But they had a large, so that you had uniformity in the market and consumers knew what they were getting, which was a big issue back, in the first video game crash. But like all other stores, shelf space comes at a premium. Of course, the breakthrough for that, something positive you can say about Steam, is how the explosion in indie games. GameStop is donezo. People have said it's donezo for 5+ years. It's not donezo. $5 is like as expensive as fucking Ford stock was after the stock market collapsed. Donezo is your stock is trading for nothing. Nothing. It's collapsed. $5 is not a collapse. It's gone down, it's gone down, it's gone down, but I figure they'll... The thing is that GameStop still do fine. Like Big Sig, who comes in here and hangs out, he's a manager at a GameStop. His GameStop makes money, and he's not even considered a big GameStop. It makes good money too. They push a lot of games, they sell a lot of consoles, they offer a lot of good deals and packages, and they got their VIP card and all this shit. And he's got stores in his district that push twice the sales. Your company's not done if you still have stores that make good profits. Okay, they're not fucking Walmart, but they're not dead either. So long as they have, across the nation, most of their stores still open and running at a profit, they're fine. People have been watching GameStop like they're on death watch for years, and it has yet to happen. There's no vision to turn it around. I think there's some vision. They're doing the Borderlands Game of the Year edition being exclusive to GameStop. If they continue to go down that path, and there's a lot of money in collection, in buying retro systems, and that's another way they make a lot of money is repairing these 360s and GameCubes and PlayStations and selling them for $100. They pick them up for a dime a dozen off some pallet in a warehouse, and then they'll sell them back to the consumer for $50, $75. They offer a service in that way. Like my brother-in-law, he buys game consoles for my nephew all the time and gaming accessories. He doesn't care enough about the industry that he's going to go seek this shit out on eBay and really understand it, know what's collectible, know what's not collectible, and what's good. He's going to go to GameStop, he's going to buy a refurbished console that they spent $15 to fix up, and he's going to buy it for $75. He's going to buy some used games while he's there, and they're going to make $100 off them, and they only spent maybe $20 and $3 in labor. Feminists are not real, thank you for taking the red pill, seeing just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Welcome to reality. Feminists are not real, thank you for that follow, much appreciated. Thank you. GameStop will be Toys R Us in 5 years. I think if we're speaking of companies that don't have vision, Toys R Us didn't have vision. And that was their massive failing. The rise of the digital marketplace and what a predominance it has now in our society, Toys R Us didn't call that. They didn't downsize. They didn't hedge their bets. They're still running Walmart-sized, Menard-sized stores that specifically sold toys. And the market had said for 15-odd years, you better change because Walmart's here. Walmart's the king. And Walmart, to be fair, exists in one particular way. It is the everything store. Like, they've tried to be Target in the past, and that's failed. And they've tried to be special in ways, and that's failed for them too. But you either want to buy it online, or you want to go to a store that has fucking everything under the sun for cheap, or you want to go to a store that specializes. And if you're going to do that, then you got to do it like Whole Foods, right? That's my opinion anyways. Whole Foods has smaller stores. You pay a premium. It's kind of a way to show off that you got some money. They're Sam's Club, not Sam's Club, but they're like really ritzy grocery stores that are in like New York, and they sell strictly organic. Trader Joe's. Those aren't very big grocery stores. They sell great products. That's like Toys R Us. Like, I don't know why Toys R Us didn't downsize. There's a town near me called Chillicothe, Ohio. There's a toy store there. It's very small, and it does fucking great. It's an old school toy store. There's so many forces at work in this stuff. Like, and one more aside, and I'm gonna catch up on chat, is this guy was a fucking monster, but he's a person that we had in our family. He was married to my grandma's sister, and he was a multi-millionaire, and he was a multi-millionaire because he owned a donut shop. And this donut shop, he was like a fucking baker's son or something, so he had this recipe. And he lived in Cleveland. A lot of my family's from Cleveland. And it was like on this point on the street that was between a bunch of places, and it was really busy, and it was just a tiny corner shop, like apparently as big as this my space here. And he made just a fucking ton of money. And all he did was move his store to a bigger place across the street, and business completely died out. Still the same donuts, still the same people in charge, but just that change of location and the way that, I suppose foot traffic and the rest, the ease of getting there, something that small had that big of an effect. I think that so long as you have across the country profitable GameStops, I think they've got a chance. I think that they're in the process of trying to figure out where they're going to have that chance. But like I said, $5, that's the price that I bought Ford stock for when the recession hit in 2008. I bought Ford stock for $5, and Ford makes fucking cars. They own rubber plants, and they own oil, and they own all kinds of crazy stuff to make those cars that's, Ford had set up. So I think that $5 for a stock, even though the stock market's pretty good right now, for a game store is not awful. Thank you for that, Nexus Cat Hype. Well, so, but Mr. Naruto, hey, by the way, I ain't no troll, just random name I chose. Hey, rated M for mature, not for age, but for maturity. So, don't worry, we're not that sensitive here. Thank you for that follow, Feminists. So Vision, they opened up their own game studio also, I think. Ooh, GameStop did? I really think they should transition to esports. Man, I'm iffy on the esports thing, Mal, but I'd like to hear your opinion out on that. Why do you feel like what makes you feel like that'd be a good idea? A bunch of people are investing. I know Michael Jordan put like a few million, tens of millions into esports. I guess I don't understand it well enough. Ashton says Toys R Us didn't switch to online as their main focus. And GameStop is the same. They try to push physical copies of games over priced merch. Well, so the government bailed out the banks, which ultimately history is saying it had to be done. There would have been so many implications had Bush not bailed out the banks. But, I mean, as far as the cars, Obama gave the car program. The government subsidized the sale of cars for a couple years. That definitely helped, but I still don't see Ford actually completely going under. Because those companies are just so robust. Like, Ford stock doesn't fucking move. I sold my stock off. But I think I sold it when it hit like $30. And that's like the fucking high water mark for Ford. That stock just doesn't go up. I think they call it blue chip stock. It's stable. Ford is too diversified. It's really tough to take them down. You got quite a bit of power, I think, Ashton, if you're able to make cars. This might be okay for this fight at this level. Anyways, I'm bullshitting. I still see GameStop existing. I think that they're going down. You're talking about the merch, Ashton. I see people bitch about that. They're like, oh, you can buy these Plinko toys and stuff at GameStop now. It seems like what they're doing is doing a lot of pilot stores right now, kind of covertly. That's how I would look at it. I wish Sig was here so he could tell us more about what's going on. But I know I bug him all the time, and he always tells me that that's not even close to what's going on. And as I say, but I think it bears repeating, if you have stores, and it's not like Sears, where Sears stores were bleeding money. And I actually, one of my brother's friends owned some Sears stores, and he hated it, and he said that the company was awful at the end. You couldn't get shipments in, nothing was reliable, you couldn't get repairs, you wouldn't even have products on the shelves to sell if you wanted to sell it. Your prices were not even near as good as what all the competitors were offering. You didn't have exclusivity, like they had Sears had that exclusive rights to some of the tools. Forget, I think Black & Decker or something, they lost that. Just like, just so many compounding bad business decisions, and then ultimately it goes down to like the smallest possible variable, and that's, here's a guy in my hometown, your hometown Sears store, who owned 5 Sears in Ohio, and he couldn't maintain any profits because the corporation was going down. They couldn't get shipments of products in, so therefore they couldn't sell any products, and he sold them way under what they could have been priced at when Sears was actually strong. You know, that's when I think that's when you know your company's actually failing, is it's starting to trickle down to the smallest possible, to the little people. It's hitting home. And if Sig is still running a profitable GameStop, and he is a profitable GameStop, but he says his is the smallest in his district, and he's from just an average Ohio town, quintessentially American city, it's the shit hasn't completely hit the fan for GameStop yet. They're alive. Now, it's totally possible what Ashton, what you're saying, what Mao, you're saying, could happen in 5 years. 5 years, I think, is a fair timeline. That they could butcher and fuck it up so bad. It's like a strategy game, you know? You got a little bit of money, and you got one chance to build something, and that one something needs to make a big difference to change the game, to turn it around. I need to turn the audio down here. But, I think that's where they're at. But every other week there's like an article on our YouTube video, clickbait YouTube video, that says, oh, it's over for GameStop. You can only cry wolf so many times, you know what I'm saying? I'm a lot butthurt about it. Esports is growing so fast. Ford would have died. Let's say your uncle's donut shop had that one small store banking, but 5 others that are in that bigger store in the red. They'll go boom until with the next console's launch. But Digital Crossing, digital sales have certainly been a big, I don't know why these lights are on, complication for GameStop. There's no doubting that, Mal. I agree with you there. Jesus. Doing?
I've already got one of them open. Ow.
Sorry, my grandma scared the ever-living daylights out of me. Okay. I will just have to add a break to that. Yeah, I don't want to call him that, Mal, because he was actually a fucking monster, and they got a divorce and shit, and he had a second family. I don't know much about it, but it's like nasty family history, and he had many more issues than that I won't go into, but I just wanted to offer the example as, you know, a business story. Anyway, but in his, and he was, by the way, this was like the 50s, he was just a solo local bakery. In his area, GS may be the only outlet for nerds and gamers. But GameStop may be the only... In other places, GameStop isn't the only center anymore. Years of forcing cards and shitty suggestions killed off a lot of consumers and got rid of the organic experience at GameStop. I think what you're saying is correct. But I know that his district as a whole is profitable. It's a pretty big area, and his store is doing really well, but the stores around him are doing even better. And he's in a fairly big, when I say quintessentially American town, I'm talking a few thousand people. You know, big enough. But yeah, I think that you're right. I mean, I can't disagree with you. You're saying the facts, Ashton. People do have a shitty opinion of GameStop. And I just buy all my games digital now. So I think that the industry's stronger and better if there's a GameStop. Do I personally go to GameStop? No, because I can just sit on my ass and buy my game right here on my Xbox and just have it. I got a, you know, big enough hard drive. I can pretty much put on whatever the fuck I want on here and be done with it. But I think that when they offered the Borderlands 1, I was very close to being like, oh, they got this exclusive. I know Benjamin paid like $75 for that exclusive. If they can get more of those... I hate this boss fight. I'm just gonna start dying. I'm just gonna run in and start trying to kill this thing. Don't give me love. I love a gaming-centric store, not just the Targets and Walmarts and Amazons of the world. I agree with you, and what's cool is in cities like LA, those exist. There's an Australian tech YouTuber I watch who builds PCs and sells. He flips PCs, basically. And he went to LA to buy a bunch of parts. He'll go to like different places around the world and try to buy PC parts for cheap and build a computer and flip it. He went to LA and he ended up going to a gaming store in LA. That's exactly what we were talking about. Like, it sells the retro collector stuff. It's got, you can go buy an original Xbox, you can buy a modded Xbox, you can buy NES cartridges, you can buy a Genesis. That stuff is totally got a market. There is it's only growing and getting stronger, the collector's market for video games. And GameStop is flirting with that. It's flirting with that. And I think they would definitely be best off if they start going down that direction pretty hard, especially because they're going to have the transportation, they're going to have the supply lines. Especially because, like, Goodwill. You know, Goodwill makes a pretty nice profit. Remember a few years back, like, the president of Goodwill got a multi-million-dollar bonus. And it makes sense. Everything gets donated. He doesn't have to buy product. It just shows up at his doorstep and then he sells it for 50 cents. GameStop kind of has the same thing going. But, you know, selling shitty Plinko toys, Plinko toys to me are the perfect example of getting a good thing and then taking it too fucking far. It's like, people fell in love with these Plinko toys. And you can only buy them off the website and shit. And everyone's like, oh my god, I'm getting Plinko. Plinko's coming out for The Walking Dead. And then as soon as it became a big thing, it's like, bam, it's at Walmart, it's at GameStop. Everyone's got 50,000 Plinko toys. You can buy the 99-cent Plinko toy. You can buy the... Just... Guitar Hero is another one of those things where people really liked Guitar Hero, so they made 75,000 of them. You couldn't get away from Guitar Hero, and they killed it. Yeah, Funko, those little toy things. Hobby is spending money the American way. Miss Parker! What up, Miss Parker? How the hell are you today? Do you work today? Are you going to the zoo? How's Washington? Welcome. Did I mention I hate this boss fight? What's his name? I'm a big PC builder. I think it's Tech Yes City? Yes Tech City? Something like that. Just look up Yes Tech, you'll probably find him. He's cool though. I like his style. I'm on my 10 at work. Nice. How is work today? Is it busy? Oh, in front of me. Well, Funkos are cool. I'm not saying Funkos aren't cool. I'm just saying that as soon as, like, Funkos got big, they were fucking everywhere. Like, they were a nerd thing that you would see on screensavers and Attack of the Show, and people would be like, hey, a new Funko's available, and like, you know, people that were in the know would go and buy these things. But it's as soon as the word gets out that there's like a successful item, they just take it, they go 0 to 100. Like, okay, Minecraft's a hit. Well, we need Minecraft the movie, we need Minecraft the comic, we need Minecraft the toy, we need Minecraft Telltale Games, we need Minecraft fucking BR, we need Minecraft anything, cereals. And that's what happened with those Funkos. It's like, oh yeah, they're neat, and only a few people really own them, and they're collectors. And now it's like you go to Walmart, or you go to GameStop, and there's 75 of them sitting on the shelf. There's product at the asshole. And that's the one thing I see with GameStops, most physical stores anymore, to be honest with you, is just a lot of product. Physical stores don't move product like they used to. They'll sit there and have hundreds and hundreds of items on the shelf, and they just don't sell. Minecraft porn category. Adult toys. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they exist. I'm here till 8. Damn, it's alright, not too busy. 8 hours today. Money will be good though. The money will be nice. Do you guys smoke while you're at work, Parker? Or are you not allowed? I have like $300 of Funko on my desk. Hobby is spending money. Second and Charles does that out here. Where are you from, Mal? He flips PCs. Denver, okay. I think you told me that before, Denver. That's cool. Yeah, well, I like Tech Yes. Well, we'll just call him that. He's a businessman. He's a businessman, but he gives you all his secrets. GameStop promised pricing. You can literally walk to any store around it and get that same item a fifth of the price, cheaper or better. Sounds about right. That's another reason I'm defending GameStop, but as I'm defending it, I'm thinking to myself, like, I have not actually bought a game from GameStop since Borderlands the pre-sequel. Scratch that. Division. I bought the Division. Pre-order it and spent $100. And they always make it seem like you're getting more than you are, because they give you that 3-mile long receipt, then they fold it up and they sign it. Like, they always fucking put a John Hancock on there. I don't know who they have that teaches them to do signatures, but that must be a month of training alone, is how to sign the receipts to make the customer feel like he just got more than what he would have got at Walmart and spent half. I could have got the same thing on the Division for probably $60 at Walmart, but at GameStop it's $100. Hey, I get this big fat fucking receipt with a giant ass hand signature on it. You know, they don't even fucking know their name half the time. His name was like Steve, but his signature looks like Bub. Bub. It's supposed to mean something, I guess. I like when you dick with GameStop though, because you can fuck them. I don't know if you can do it quite as hard. But that VIP card, like, they were... I don't even know how I got membership to it. I think it used to be free or something, but I had it. I gave them a bunch of my games. I had dozens of 360 games. I probably should have kept them in retrospect. But either way, I brought them in to get a new game. It's the GameStop experience. It's America and you're bored. Let's go see if we can get a new game at the GameStop, even though we don't need one. And she was like, you know, 50 cents, best I can do. But then it's like you pull out this VIP card and suddenly it was like $75. And I got points and I got cash back and... But she had that like stunned look on her face, like she wasn't happy about what just happened. She felt that the business transaction that we had just had, where I was going to get 50 cents for Halo 3 and a bunch of almost brand new games in perfect condition, that was perfectly acceptable. But when she added the VIP code in there and suddenly the whole situation had been switched around, let me do my best acting here. Her lips puckered, you know, like an asshole. Like my mouth mostly looked. Here, I'm trying to get a job on Broadway. That. There, try to, see that? Looks like an active asshole. She wasn't happy. It's live commentary, folks. I'm doing my best. I'm in my car, a dab, left my... You're in your car taking a dab. My coworker's on the car next to me about to start smoking a joint. Someone's not a little butthurt. They're a lot butthurt. I love GameStop, but their leadership sucks. Well, they've had the same CEO for, what, 50 years? They keep trying to get a new one in and they don't stick, and then the same old guy has to come in. Walmart, more like, belongs in the trash. People get hired thinking they'll maybe be able to have fun in Nerd Talk, but when they have to force feed suggestions all day. Well, everything's so fucking basic. I remember I wanted to get a job at GameStop. Some other people had jobs at GameStop in my major, and they all fucking hated it, by the way. And I wanted to have, you know, real talk, real video game talk, but everything was so goddamn surface level. You know, it wasn't like... The legend is, and I've heard it's true, I think Quentin Tarantino said this story himself, you know, he learned how to make movies by working at a video rental store. And he watched every movie, and he studied it, and he could give... And, you know, people would walk in, the old thing that doesn't exist anymore but once did, of, you got a suggestion for me, video rental guy? And he'd be like, check out Rising of the Tombstone 3 and Cindy Gets Bent Over by Young Son 5. They're underappreciated gems. And that, you know, and I kind of had that vision, the Quentin Tarantino at the video rental store vision for GameStop, but that's not how that works. As you're saying, Ashton, to compliment your point, it's just about moving product, man. We gotta get these used games off the shelf. And lots of pre-orders. 5 to 7 in the last 3 years. Well, they keep getting it, like, a guy, right? You can look this up, I'm pretty positive this is true. And the guy will stick he won't stick at all. And then the same guy comes in. The same guy that's been around the longest time. This is a bad boss fight, alright? I'm gonna mention it again, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. It's not fun. There's not many opportunities to hit him. He does a lot of damage. The map is not great. Like, okay, I stood out in the open and I got to shoot him for a little bit. Which ended predictably. New things are lame, content is hard, yes. Her crying helps. You know, there's like that Best Buy that's not Best Buy, but there's still that Blockbuster that exists. Sometimes I think taking things down to the smallest level, human, physical, tangible, is a great way to reorganize yourself. Just fucking start over. Start over knowing what you know now and get a fresh start. I think you could look at Blockbuster and think, if I'm GameStop, I fucking start to shore up. I start to hedge my bets. I retreat. Strategic retreat right now. Pilot stores. We need pilot stores all doing different things, and we need to see what works, what doesn't. How do we end up with Blockbuster? But instead of one of these Blockbusters in the middle of Colorado or wherever it's at, how do we end up with like 2,500? But I definitely would retreat. You don't close the ones that are profitable. That'd be dumb as hell. You know, that's like having an enemy that's your army's marching on the front and completely clobbering the enemy and then retreating. Like, you know, what happened in the Civil War, where we had Robert E. Lee on his fucking heels and decided not to chase him across the river. Let him get away, and thus extending the war for 3 years. But where your army's just sort of stuck in the mud, like World War I, you gotta change. What if GameStop did like online rentals or something? Maybe. I mean, shit. Maybe GameStop is the one that could pull off the Stadia. It's possible. If I was running the board meeting, I would definitely say there's no such thing as a dumb idea right now. Just throw things out there. Throw out whatever the hell you want to. There's no dumb ideas right now. We're going to take some of these stores that are stuck in the mud. We're going to run pilots on them. And we're going to start hedging our bet and making sure that we're a solvent company so that we don't have to file for bankruptcy like Sears. I think, well, Sears avoided bankruptcy just barely. And I'm pretty positive GameStop for the last couple years is running the red pretty bad, right? I think it was pretty fucking profitable for a long time, and here recently it's been running in the red. Companies can only do that so long. I played City Skylines for 2 weeks, and I'm talking like I'm Jeff Bezos or some shit. Your city's running in the red. You gotta manage your budget. You gotta build small. Or in the words of Randy Pitchford, you fucked me! Can't believe you fucked me on this! Shitty clickbait magazine motherfuckers! Cocksucker! Now here's this animal. Here's this video of a kitten being fucking attacked by a crab. You'll enjoy. And I only did it for the psychological value. Sociopathic monster? What the hell's wrong with you? I just like to fuck with people. Isn't that completely normal? No, it's not normal! Means you're a sociopath. What if GameStops will thrive as long as single moms have a place to drop off their shitty crotch goblins in the mall? Shitty crotch goblins. I think that's the one where we're in the boardroom meeting and we have to get HR involved. No one disagrees with you. You probably said the truth. But HR has to get involved and you've got to have your desk cleared by the end of the day. But you're also now quote 145 because we're not in the GameStop boardroom meeting, even though we're pretending. We're on the Stuck on Pandora stream where the expectations are zero and we have no shame because we have no pride to give. You're such a shitty robot. I fucking can't stand you. Like, you can't do damage to him. You can't just shoot him. He has to have that stupid eye exposed. Oh my god. I should have had this out the whole time though. He's armored. It just occurred to me, oh, he's armored. I have a caustic weapon. Zed's banned, don't worry guys, carry on. I think you're 145. I'm a bit embarrassed that we might die to this guy. This is not the boss battle part of this. This is supposed to be the knock him over. Though if this guy was Frag Trap, I would have no... I'm gonna pretend he's technically Frag Trap. Claptrap does become Frag Trap, and Frag Trap is so freaking strong. Oh, it's okay. It's alright, Mordecai. This guy later becomes stronger than you. We did it!
You've quashed the rebellion, saved Pandora, and restored the good name of the Hyperion Corporation. Unfortunately, you've also voided that Claptrap's warranty. So, now you're stuck.
Just stuck with him.
There is still the matter of the reward.
We're gonna do all the quests. I'm gonna try to get the achievements for this DLC, because this is gonna be probably the last time we run it. And I'm hoping there's time for Nox. I always, always seem to underestimate just how long things are gonna take. Especially if you allow 15, 20 uninformed rants to intercede on the conversation. That shit. People get, oh yeah. We get your mission done. There were a lot of components that dropped during that. Night of the Living Dead, one of the few quests where you don't gotta worry about copyright at all. That one. I don't know, they list this quest in a weird place, so... I mean, I don't know why it's not listed under Tartarus Station. That's where we are. I think we can assume it's not done though, because it's not green.
Over here. I need your help.
75. At least we can do that. I didn't even know we could check it like that. We'll have access to the loot stash. That's cool. That'll be helpful. We're gonna do the side quest to continue to get components. I think we still have to find underwear and a brassiere and a bra and all that.
There is a spirit of drunkenness.
The spirit of drunkenness, eh?
Some people. Now you see, I'm not saying the plan.
Greetings, consumer.
Hello, traveler.
They're just people.
Increase magazine capacity with sniper. All players in your team, including you, gain blah. Increase accuracy with all weapon types. That's fine, actually. Increase melee damage. Also have your melee chances. I mean, that seems fine to me. Decrease the cooldown. Bloodwing causes enemies to drop additional money and ammo. Healing items increase. Blah blah blah. I think that having focus and lethal strike to me is right now more important than going down the Bloodwing tree. Is there anything really good in the Bloodwing tree? Oh, reload speed, fast hands. Oh shit, my bad. That little bit of extra healing could be really helpful. Days, not so much, but getting these two would be good. Ice, I don't know. I guess I'll go. I mean, damage is the most obvious, but I'm thinking that having extra health items on the ground could be helpful. But for now, accuracy, because it's just going to be that much easier to land those masher headshots that we've been leaning on pretty heavy, pretty good, pretty good. Mutolo Robot Revolution. Vive la Resistance. Invincible, kill Max. I think we have quite a few quests here. What a party. 3 panties, 5 fish in a bag, and 15 pizzas. I can't believe we haven't done that yet. 15 claptrap bobbleheads. 25 oil cans. I'm assuming tourist collect, find all 6 claptrap statues. I'm thinking they just randomly drop them, or do we need to actually go find them? If so, we'll pull up a guide, because I suck. Looks like a good start. I think I've already got one of those survivor class mods. Oh, it only has 5 team health regeneration? Guess I better buy back what we just sold. I haven't been paying any attention to anything. I've just been kind of running through stuff. I think the reason that we kept it is because it has the team reload speed. And I'm still looking for another one to have that. But 12 is... they'll be better. I don't need that. Freaking Mordecai doesn't have to worry about shields. It's just a little strong. Probably need like a Panacea shield though, so I can get some base health regen. Ooh. Especially at this lower level, I can play with this just for fun. It's dark gold, so sell for a lot of money. CPR. And these volcanoes are everywhere. It's got a good name. Torg! Bastard guns for bastard people. Good stuff. There's not a great reason to rerun it though, except for a shield, because I would like a Panacea. Because of our level right now. Another Masher, an updated Masher would be fine. So we're planning on heading into Nox next. What level did we get to? All the stuff in Nox is like 55, 50. In there, in that range. I don't know, we could probably see by the quest. What level is the quest? We stood a chance, but it was going to be very slow and annoying. So, you know. There's that. Well, where is it? Because we started Nox. I see one main... There it is. Level 51. Oh, I guess we could beat the story and then run Nox. I can't think if there was a reason why I wanted to beat Nox then the story. Whether it was a matter of scaling or what. $500 or $25. Stinger's probably not bad. I should compare it to the current. RWL's max roll. Gonna get hella rich. Scavenger class mod. Do we have a better one? Oh yeah, that one's the best so far. This is the thing that Borderlands gets so right. This is just something you can just do, man. It's just fun. It is action RPG at its most fundamental, and man does it work. And how games manage to not pull it off anymore by watering down this one thing that works. You want to add to it, not take away. Because it's very simple. Looks like this. Skill, challenge. Challenge. Skill. Skill must meet challenge. But a part of the skill of the action RPG is gearing your character up and getting a more powerful character and building them.
Why did I decide to wear wool in the desert?
Why did I decide to wear wool in the desert? Okay, we're gonna continue doing these quests. And we're probably gonna have to look up where this stuff is. Alright, so I'm gonna do this quest, and then I'm probably gonna take a quick dinner break, and we're gonna continue. Oh, they would do it like this. They'd have some annoying... Oh, wait. This is this whole DLC in a nutshell. You think it's in one place, but it's not. It's through some convoluted pathway that is not at all obvious.
You need anything, you talk to Marcus. He's got lots of route we can trade for.
Antique land, who said, too vast and troublous slopes of stone commanded the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, battered Vizier lies, whose brown and wrinkled and sneer of cold command tell it.
Look, we ended up right where we were 5 minutes ago because I thought that would be any different at all. What do you know, it's not. There's probably some area fairly near this. Can you sneak in here? Oh yeah, you can. Wait, is that not the area? No, it was. We grabbed a battery thing. What's out here? There's more stuff. This is a good DLC, though. It's much better than Moxie. I think it's the zombie DLC. And then it gets really close. Moxie's worst. So we get the 2 and the 3. Nox has a lot of good stuff to it, but it has so much unnecessary driving that I think that this is actually the second best DLC. And Nox is third. But a close third, if that counts for anything. But it has too much unnecessary driving. It has a great endgame activity to it. It is the endgame. The Nox DLC introduces endgame. But you have to drive for 15 minutes to get to anything in that, and there's no fast travel. And it puts a it's not actually that big of a DLC, it just is spaced out. I'm excited to play with some new legendaries, though. So close. What am I missing? Nothing. We got blood coming on us. Yeah, we're gonna do more of that when Tyrell gets off work. Gonna have some more money shots from Bloodhound coming our way. Ew, yeah. Oh, shit. I mean, I'm sure I have to make that jump. Remember that extremely questionable decision where Borderlands tries to be a parkour game? And they never stop that, by the way. I suppose it breaks up the pace, but... you know, it's just... What? Oh, man. I'm so ready for that. Epic running start. I was so prepared. God dang it, you can't run and jump. I'm not looking at this right. I'm missing something. You gotta come from the top. I'm sure of it. What is up, my dude? What up, Steven? How the hell are you? How's work? How's life? Have you pre-ordered Borderlands 3 yet, Steven? I saw you're back on League. How's League of Legends treating you? Are you as good as you were? What's the occasion? Yo, what's the Grim? What up, Steven? How the hell are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Welcome. Okay. Yes, this is what we were missing. Remember, you can't run and jump until you do. Made me feel better, though. What did they shoot? They just randomly shot some shit, then they kind of just disappeared. Blarg, how you doing, Vulcan? Are you gonna be involved tonight with Tyrell, playing with us? Because I don't know how late Tyrell's even gonna play. I think he is playing with us tomorrow, but I don't know how long, because he's going to, like, Tennessee and back the next day. Okay, turn this in. Keep doing these side quests. I think I'm probably gonna take a dinner break, though, so we can keep going. I kind of want to know how to hit this. It seems right. I suppose now it's just a straight jump. Well, at least we know how to do it now. AD, I doubt it. We'll give you an air horn. That was some Leslie Nielsen shit right there. This woman needs a hospital. What is it, doctor? It's a large building with a lot of people in it.